Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Breakroom Banter.
It is a hairstylist adjacent podcast where each week
Two friends
who happen to be hairstylists
break down our weeks in the break room. I'm your host, Ericka Roberts.
and I'm your other host, Hunter Walden. What are we even doing? I don't know. It was weird a little bit.
It was weird.
Yeah.
We're back in the break room, guys.
And it's
Hope
another
you
day.
enjoyed last week's episode with Kia, because we sure did.
Oh my God. It was probably one of my favorite episodes that we've ever recorded.
I think so too.
And I want to get cozy.
It was full of, oh yeah, you guys, look, we got a new chair in the studio. In case you haven't noticed, it kind of evolves each episode. But the coolest part about that, as you can tell, is that I'm usually super comfy on this couch. Ugh. And now Hunter can be comfy too.
So we're going to have a comfy, cozy episode because I am a little bit sleepy.
And catch up on kind of the last few weeks because we recorded a bunch of episodes and then we had a guest and I was out of town and Hunter's been teaching and it's been crazy. So, yeah. Okay, first of all.
Okay.
Tell us about last night.
Okay, so.
Tell us about your class and getting home from your class.
So the class went great. It was very, very interesting.
Okay.
I say the word interesting a lot, and I've noticed that. So I'm going to try and broaden my vocabulary a little bit because I was editing the podcast and I was like, why do I say that so
you say
freaking much?
As much as I say, you know what I mean.
I wasn't going to say it.
I was.
We all have a word. We all have our words. But yeah. So it was different. I was talking to the I actually don't know what her title was, but do you remember the person that used to come in with our sales rep? She no longer works with the company. She works with a different company. Super bubbly.
I know who you're talking
okay.
about.
So that position just in New York.
Got it.
So we were chit-chatting. She was like so excited. She was talking about a class. You remember that 2-day class I did in Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it like warmed my heart a little bit. She goes, so my girl Trina loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I love her. Like she
Yeah.
brought me a gift on the second day.
Oh.
That was that one,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And like she was just so sweet and so nice. And she said, well, she wants to be an educator because of you. And I was like, oh. Well, anyway, so we were just chit-chatting, talking. She was like telling me how it's kind of hard to get classes out there. All of that jimmer jammer. And then she said, so we have a very diverse group.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can handle it, but it's going to be very diverse. And I was like, oh, okay, that's totally fine. Like, I do hair.
Yeah.
I can do all hair. Yeah. I'm well educated and versed.
Right.
And she was like, and then the first person walks in. And she greets herself, introduces all of the things. Then everyone else starts flooding in. So then we start the class. And I start to go to the first activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I give the instructions. I give the time limit. I do all the things.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's go.
Uh-huh.
And so everyone stands up, but nothing happened. It was like they kind of like stood up and went to the flip charts.
Uh-huh.
But no one went to, because I did the whole number thing, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. No one went to their number.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay. And a little bit of panic started because I was like, did I not explain it well enough? So what's going on?
Yeah.
And so I went over to the thing and I was going to like help them get to their spots. And they were like, oh, she said, can she be with us because her English is not so good and mine isn't either. So we're going to like help each other. And so I found out that everyone in the class had English as like
a second language,
if not third or fourth.
No way.
Yeah. So
They didn't give you any forewarning.
no forewarning.
See, yeah.
And so, like, I am so grateful I got to teach the class. I'm not complaining. This is just, like, a story, right? So we were talking, and I was just thinking, like, I really don't think that I was the right person to facilitate this class.
Right, if they had gotten a Spanish speaker, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, better.
And so she was like, but the problem is there are none.
Stop.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean,
I just thought that maybe there would, I just don't know that, like, if she doesn't know of them, or if there actually isn't any Spanish-speaking educators for the brand. I don't know for certain to say that. Allegedly, right? Allegedly.
Maybe in this area.
Right, in this area, in that area. But that area has a ton of diversity. It's New York. It's New York City. Like, everyone speaks a different language.
Right. I forgot this story is New York and not
not Pennsylvania.
Tiny small town.
Right,
okay,
right.
That's even crazier. I have shown up for a class one time and it was mostly Spanish speaking, but there was a girl there that was willing to like help me translate. So because I was like,
so that's essentially what happened, except for they weren't all Spanish speaking.
That's right. You said
so there was like there was Spanish, there was Mandarin, and the guy that spoke Mandarin spoke like 12 different languages.
So, but Mandarin was his first language.
Yes.
Well, I feel like if you know Mandarin, you could probably speak any language after that.
He was freaking cool.
Yeah.
He owns a salon in Flushing, and it's in the Sheraton Hotel. From The Nanny.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
And I said that. I was like, I'm embarrassed to say this, but that's where The Nanny's from.
Right? Do you have any nannies named Fran in your clientele? Because I would die.
But I went and looked at his profile, and you know those, like, the crazy extensions and, like, perms and stuff you see on Instagram in other countries? They do that at their salon. And so their salon page is just, like, all of those, like, cool perms. It's called
page?
Nova Salon.
Nova
and it's in
Salon?
Flushing, Queens.
Flushing, Queens. Okay.
Nova Salon in Flushing, Queens. And then there was another lady there. She actually did speak really good English. Yeah. And so she helped a lot with the Spanish. Because I think she fully grasped what I was saying, and then she was able to translate for me to the people that couldn't. But there was one lady there, she spoke, I don't know the language, and I don't want to butcher it or be offensive, so I'm just going to skip it. And then I think there was a French person.
Dang. I mean, that sounds like New York City.
Yeah.
But
so
I'm just surprised.
A couple of them had that translator on their phone, though. So as I was speaking, it was translating. And then the Spanish speakers all kind of like grouped together.
I mean, I guess if you live in a country where you don't speak the language, you figure out how to do things like take a freaking class, especially with the technology that we have. That's kind of cool. What a cool experience.
It was a really cool experience. And like I said, I'm not complaining. I'm grateful. And like, the experience was great. Okay, cool.
No.
I just didn't want it to sound like I was complaining.
No. But I get what you're saying, like, that you had no forewarning until you're into the class, into the first activity, and you're like,
and I looked at I looked at the person there that was, like, my support.
Yeah. And
I was like, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
And she was like, what do you mean? You're doing great. But
you're a G, Hunter. I'm sure you pulled it off super gracefully.
Well, one of the attendees messaged me on Instagram, and he was saying, like, thank you so much for the class. You made it easy for me to understand, and
I love that.
And that's hard to do. So that really made me feel good.
Yay.
And they all wanted pictures after the class. And they had little certificates. And they asked me to sign their certificates.
Cute.
It was the coolest.
I love it, Hunter.
But yeah, the Paramount training facility. Do you know Paramount Beauty Supplies?
I think I
They're
might
like
have worked with them
northeast.
once, maybe.
Yeah. They have the coolest facility. It's like,
Really?
yeah, it's in an industrial park.
That's what was on your story. I saw it this morning. It's like it looks like cool, modern, industrial sort of,
Yeah.
like vibey, the background. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
cool.
like it.
And it was like a hospital. You know how like you have to scan your badge to get through every door?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Oh, damn.
Like every like separate section had a door and then you had to scan to get into the door.
Dang.
Yeah, secure.
High class.
Yeah. What about you? How was your weekend? Because we had a hair day. You got your hairs did.
I did get my hairs did. Well, I did most of it. I did 75% of it myself. But you know, that's how it goes. Yesterday was good, and then I had to clean the salon, which was good. You know, so it was a long day, and now I'm here. That's my weekend. But let's see. I've moved. When was it that we talked last? Like, really? Was before my vacation.
Yeah, it was before your vacation because when you got back from vacation, we filmed with Kia.
That's right.
So
I just hit the ground running. Okay, I have a confession.
Oh, okay.
So before I left for my trip, Michelle asked me, "You're not doing that thing where you like fly all night and then come to work in the morning, are you?" And I was like, no. Because I had my flights mixed up. I thought I left at 6:30 in the morning to go to Oregon, but apparently it was that I got home at 5:30 in the morning back to Nashville on the day that I worked. So I did it and I pulled it off, and I did not oversleep or anything like that, and everything was fine. But it did mean that I hit the ground running. What in God's name are you looking for?
My phone. I can't find my phone, and it's vibrating, and it's not on silent.
It's in the couch.
It's in there somewhere. Hang on. We have got to pause.
Technical difficulties. I'm sorry. It's too distracting. I can't talk and do it at the same time. I'm like, no.
I feel it vibrating. Where is it?
Under your butt? Under the pillow? Oh my God. I'm dead. Blooper. You need that big yellow pillow to like in the under the butt crease of it.
I didn't realize. Okay. Jesus Christ almighty. I'm hot.
I bet you are now.
And we're back.
And we're back. What the hell were we talking about? I don't even remember. Oh, so, yeah, I hit the ground running when I was on my trip, but I had a freaking rad trip.
You were just really freaking dark.
That light's not on. That's why this shadow's so intense on that side of my face.
We hit the ground running, speaking of.
Right.
I just keep looking at it, and I'm so distracted.
There, now I have a little bit of sun. And my hair is dark. Let me just go like that, because then it opens up my face.
Is that better?
Yeah. You're going to have to just cut the whole part from when you end your story to now.
Yeah.
Also, I've been obsessed with the Mel Robbins podcast, and she puts her bloopers at the end. And it's hilarious because it'll be her, like, burping or being like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm into that.
And she's, like, a super proper motivational speaker lady. She's a shit. I love her. Anyways.
Okay.
So, do some sort of, like, but yeah, so.
But anyway.
Yeah.
How has your weekend been? Because we've not, like, actually talked since you got back from your trip.
We haven't talked, much at all since I got back from my trip. So, my weekend was good. We'll start there. I moved right before my trip. So, my room is, like, finally somewhat functional. Like,
I love that.
I put some things on the wall. I got my bed frame put together. I got all the shit that needed to be in a storage unit, Remember how I was like, I think I'm going to be fine. I don't need one.
Yeah, you needed one.
My 5x5 is Tetris to all get out, okay? I definitely needed a storage unit. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. But,
Are you decorating, like, your little stairway hallway area?
That is going to be as well. Like, so I have this mirror that has, like, hooks on it for, like, purses and coats. That's going to go outside my bedroom door right there on that little short wall, you know?
Yes.
And then my, like, little dresser that is kind of like my junk drawer for the whole house. That it's, like, phone cords, screws, tools, like, streamers left over from Deacon's 6th birthday party. Like,
you never know when you're going to need them.
Whatever it may be. Like, the little travel sew kit is in there, you know, whatever it is. Mask filters, you know, the ones you could put in.
Yeah.
I have everything in there. So that will be there on the shelf. And then the kitchen, I'm trying to do this afternoon and work on that.
On the shelf.
I don't know what I just said. It's fine.
Okay. You were talking about a dresser.
The dresser will be on the landing. I mean, you know, at the top of the stairs, right there. How it?
Got it.
Shelf.
Got it. It's gonna be cute.
Yeah. My entertainment center is like serving as like a thing at the end of my bed right now because we're having new floors put in the living room, and that was all going to go downstairs after the other roommate moved out, which she moved out this weekend.
Okay.
And then
wait, are you guys putting the new floors in?
No, the landlord is.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, but it's not done yet. So like right now I've got some stuff that's just kind of at the bottom of the stairs, you know. That thing is upstairs in my room, and I've moved it around on my saggy, crooked floor so many times that it's like falling apart. So I'm just going to take it apart when I get home and throw it away. Like, whatever.
Have you had it a long time?
I bought it when I moved to Tennessee. When I moved out on my own, when I got my first one bedroom, the one that you first.
It's time to get rid of those memories.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's from Amazon. It's all of my furniture is that cheap, like, MDF, like, looks like wood with black wrought iron. It's ghetto.
But it's cute.
Yeah.
It is cute. It's aesthetic. You can just only move.
They only have so many moves in them, yes.
Right.
Well, and my 9 cube that my TV's on, like, I scooted it across. I ended up switching sides from when I think you saw it. Where it was
so is
corner.
it
So now it's behind the door.
Oh, nice.
And it's much better. I can see it from a bed.
So you couldn't see it from your bed?
Well, I was sleeping sideways because I was on that crooked floor. So now that I have my bed frame, it's a little bit more level. There is still, like, I do need to go under there and adjust it, like, get a level and adjust it and, like, put things underneath my room, like is little wood blocks. Old, like, college house, and the floor is extremely uneven upstairs in the little corner where my bed is. But we're working with it.
It's so freaking cute.
It's going to be so cute when it's done. Like, I was kind of having an existential crisis about turning 38 and moving in with a roommate for the first time in 15 years. That wasn't, like, a romantic partner. On some level, I guess. You know what I mean?
Maybe an ex-romantic partner.
Yeah, or a clusterfuck. Anyways. An intimate partner.
Oh, my God. Okay. Anyway, I'm brain
farting now because you threw me off. Anyways, existential crisis, turning 38, moving in with a roommate for the first time in 15 years. So, like, and my room was tiny, and I have all this stuff, and, like, it just felt like I'm never going to be able to make sense of this. Nothing works, you know. So now I've got it pretty much put together. My closet, I am going to, right now, Kelly gave me, like, a pole to put across that fits, but it, like, kind of sags and it blocks the rest of the use of the closet. So what I'm going to do is, because it's slanted, I can't put one. I was going to do doubles, but I can't do that because it's slanted. So I'm just going to put one at curtain level. I've got the space on each side, and then put shelf on top.
So you can, like, fold your pants and put them on a shelf.
Yeah. And then I've got a little, like, cubicle 4x2x2 or whatever that fits perfectly in between those two, like a curtain or a hanger. Got space on either side, so it's gonna work.
Heck yeah.
So, I got the wallpaper up in the little nook that my
Your bed is in.
That my bed
You have an
is
air
in.
conditioner now.
I do have an air conditioner. I got that put in the night before I left.
Oh, nice.
It showed up to my old apartment. I just drove by there, and it was on the freaking porch. I was like, yes.
Thank God.
So yeah, I put that in right away, and it is helpful. Although I've gone 2 days without it so far, like in a row now. So.
It's been chilly.
Yeah, it's been great.
I got in the.
I like this time of year.
Yeah.
When it's like 70, 80 in the day, and like 59 at night.
You can sleep with your window open.
Yes, this is my favorite time of year.
But it's also, because I sleep with the windows open in this time of the year, it's also when my throat gets all scratchy and I'm all stuffy. But it's worth it because fresh air is good air.
Right, exactly. So, yeah. So that was my weekend.
Okay.
Now reverse to my trip to Oregon. Let me just give y'all that highlights because, boy, let me tell you, it was an adventure.
I feel like you were there for a longer period of time than you normally are this time.
I was there for like technically 8 days.
That's so good, though.
I got there late, like I left after work, and I got there at midnight, and then woke up at my sister's house. We drove, took our time that morning, and then we drove to Carson Hot Springs, which is right over the river in Vancouver, like along the Columbia River Gorge, which is where the Columbia River runs between Oregon and Washington and then meets the Pacific Ocean, right? Fucking beautiful. So gorgeous. Like, it's like the river at the bottom of this valley and, a gorge. So
yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
It's gorge.
See what I did there? Anyway, so we went to Carson Hot Springs Resort, and we spent the night there. So we get there, and, there's a mineral hot spring where, you can't get to the water, and it's, too hot to just go in right out of the, ground. But they pump it into this pool.
And it cools as it pumps.
And then they can temperature control it or whatever. So you go and you stay at the resort, and then you can go in this thing. You can come and visit and just pay $10 and go in. Mm-hmm. But if you stay, you get it for free. So we go in, and I was like, this is public. I assume there's chlorine in here. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you put chlorine in mineral water, it
makes it not
negate some of the goodness, or it's just
But there's no chlorine.
Here's all this good shit, but a little bit of bad shit to go along with it, you know?
Yeah.
That's soaking into your skin, too. So, anyways, we go to check in because we got there a little bit early, and there's, this sign that says bathhouse, and we had noticed, I thought it was public restrooms for, changing or something like that. But it says bathhouse, so I was like, what is the bathhouse? I don't know. That makes me think of sweaty old men in towels,
right.
Get together, you know?
Low key.
In a bath. Well, what it was that they had the public pool thing that you could go in, and then they also had in the bathhouse, it was 8, 10 maybe private bathtubs, clawfoot bathtubs that were all separated by curtains, so it was private. And because it was personal and you're the only person in there, they didn't have to chlorinate the water.
Uh-huh.
Because sanitize in between, right? So for $35, you can get a 25-minute soak and then a 25-minute linen wrap where they wrap you in linen after you get out of the pool, and it just helps the minerals absorb to your skin, right? So we do this.
So bougie.
Right? So nice. And my sister and I were, she was this was her birthday present to me. So she was like, do you want to do something else? We could go and stay in the Pearl and, go kayak. I'm like, nah, dude, I want to be in nature. Mineral water, yes. I don't care if it's an old place. I think she thought it wasn't going to be, fancy or cool enough. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't anything special, decor-wise, but the experience was awesome.
Right, and you guys got to do it together, and you guys don't get to do anything together.
We don't, and I love her. The fact that we grew up completely separately but are so the same is so crazy. Anyways, so 25 minutes in the tub, and then they wrap you in linen. And they'll do it, like, according to your comfort. But I was like, you better wrap that shit up tight, right? Like, swaddle me like an infant. So, we did that, and then it was after I'd flown all day, and then we had woke up. You know, I didn't sleep much. I was up late, even though it was like 2 hours later for me. Exhausted is my point. I guess I was snoring. My sister said I started snoring. I totally fell asleep in that. And the thing is like, it's a dark room. Like, you walk in and it's like you're in a cave. The light is insanely low. And it's a women's and men's. So, like, it's only female or male in there. So you could be nudie if you wanted. Like, that's, you know. I was in my swimsuit. But they, like, wrap you, and there's, I think, maybe, like, 8 people in the room total. So I was snoring and other people can hear me.
Wait, I thought you meant when you went to bed that night. Oh, no. I have a story about something like that.
But needless to say, I slept so freaking good that evening. Like, when we did go back to the room, I just, like, I felt amazing the next day. We woke up, we went on a hike. We hiked this place called Wind Mountain, which is, like, still to this day, like, sacred Native American land. They do, like, the spirit questing and everything up there. Like, for real. Like, you have to stay on the trail. Because it's, like, you can't go off it, right?
Because if not,
Because then you're crossing onto sacred Native American land. You know what I mean? Like, we're already on their land. Fucking stay off a little bit. They still have, like, that's how I look at it. Like, fucking be respectful. So, yeah, didn't go off the trail. But you get to the top of the mountain and you can, like, go. And it's, like, literally this steep, rocky hill where it's, like, coming into the entrance of the gorge. So it's super windy, right?
Right.
And it was just so beautiful. I posted pictures on my story.
I saw.
And I think a couple of reels about it because it was just so gorgeous. I couldn't help but hear, like, the Pocahontas song in my head, which was so bad. But it was like, I just halfway expected, like, leaves to come flying over it, like, magically, because it was so beautiful. It felt like it couldn't be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, no. It was, like, gorgeous and beautiful.
I love that.
And so I just sat up there for a while, which is, like, you know, and just all my stress just go away.
Go away with the wind.
That's what I felt. That's what it was. It was like all my stress was flowing out of me, like, blah.
I love that. Were the leaves changing there yet?
No, not quite. They will start, but that's all evergreen trees.
Oh, so they won't change.
It's different. Oregon is, it's not that we don't have the leaves falling in trees, because that there definitely is that, but not on the level there is here. You know,
which is also
everywhere.
Equally as beautiful. So I have a story though. I was in New York. My class was in Long Island. I looked it up. The Hamptons is on Long Island. Okay. I watched this show called The Summer House, and it's filmed in Montauk, which is the tippy tip of Long Island, right? And I landed at 4. And I was like, I want to go and watch the sunset at this lighthouse on the beach in Montauk.
Love it.
So when I get in my rental car, I search the Hamptons, just like a generic, like, take me to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
How far is that? Because I knew that Montauk was probably 20, 30 minutes past the Hamptons. I saw it was like 45 minutes away from the airport and only 15 minutes away from where I was staying.
Okay.
And so I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to go. And so I typed in the lighthouse that I wanted to go to in Montauk, which it was going to be like an hour and 30 minutes. I was still okay with that, like an hour and 30 minutes and like a 45-minute drive back. That's not that bad.
Yeah, no.
So I never cleared my freaking search history on my Google Maps. And so it was taking me to a generic place in the Hamptons, which actually ended up to being a cow field that was so far inland that it was going to take me an hour to even get to the closest beach to see the sunset. And at this point, the sun is setting behind me. I already knew I missed the sunset. It was getting freaking dark. And so I was like, and you know what? All of the houses are huge and massive, and I'm
Yeah.
sure they're beautiful, but they have hedges outside that are bigger than the house, so you can't see the house.
Shit. Yeah.
Which is, it was actually really cool. Like, a lot of the places, their driveways were like, it looks like if you looked at the driveway, you would be looking at the house, but it goes takes an immediate right, so the hedge covers the front of the house. And I called Bradley and I told him that, and he was like, it's because of all the hedge funders. But yeah, so
all these cats, your dad jokes are strong.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so I missed the sunset, and I drove myself into a cow field. Not literally into a cow field. I noticed what I was doing before I drove into the cow field. But
that is funny.
And then I was an hour and 45 minutes away from my hotel at that point.
Oh my god.
But I wasn't paying attention. I was just like looking at all the scenery, and like there's just these like trees for as far as you can see. And they're like those round fluffy trees. Like it looks like a freaking cartoon. And they were all starting to change colors. But they were changing colors like, I guess like where the shadows of the clouds are. I don't know exactly how to explain it.
Yeah.
But it looked like you had like taken a paintbrush and like flicked paint.
Because they were all at different cycles in their changing.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, man.
Yes.
Nature's awesome.
Yes. So I'm
So
grateful
cheesy.
I at least got to see that.
Right? Damn.
But
So yeah. I love that. Well, anyways, I'm not going to tell y'all every detail of everything in my whole trip because I could, right?
Right.
But I did go, spent a couple days with my sister. That mineral.
Oh, Emily's calling. Do we want to
Put her on
the pod?
You're live on the podcast.
Hey, you're live on the podcast. What's up?
Oh my gosh, I actually have a color question for you.
Ooh.
I'm about to do a color retouch on a new client, and she has sensitivity to ammonia. She said that she was using Schwarzkopf, and that was okay for her.
Oh.
Does Schwarzkopf have a lesser ammonia content than Kuhn, or are they about the same?
No,
Nah,
Kuhn's
it's
gonna
like
be
super
way
high.
More gentle, yeah.
Schwarzkopf is?
No, Kuhn is way more gentle.
Okay.
Schwarzkopf
Just
colors
making
are rad, but it is harsh on
Yeah.
the scalp.
It's like super harsh, like
That's
strong.
what I remembered, because I know that forever ago when you were at Bluebirds, you toned my hair with Schwarzkopf, and I remember it burning my eyeballs.
Yep. It shall be doing that.
It's gorgeous
Okay,
color,
just
though.
making sure.
All right.
Thanks, Bestie.
What did you say?
I said, thanks, Bestie.
You're
Have a
welcome,
good
best
day.
friend.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That was cute.
That was awesome. Yeah. Did the hot springs, went down, sent my baby off to high school. You guys, he
So
started
crazy.
high school. It's so crazy. Like, I could poop my pants. I can't even believe it. He's so big. And then we got to hang out that night, and we went to the Halloween store because we just, like, had a couple hours, like, kill time, you know, before he had to go home and go to bed or whatever. And, we went to the Spirit Halloween store because it's up already. And we just kind of looked around for a while, and then at one point we were like trying on masks and like 1, 2, 3 surprising each other. I don't know, so cheesy, but we were just like goofing around, and it was like this most like pure, genuine like moment where I felt so happy, but also so sad that like I don't get more of that, you know, because I'm just like, ugh. I mean, and right on cue, I want, you know, I'm thinking this place isn't so bad. I could live here. Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
You know, which is hard, but like, I do feel like.
But then you remember it's impossible to live there.
Exactly.
And not be homeless.
And I also feel like there's been, I mean, I've talked a lot about my personal growth journey on this podcast, but I've kept so much of it private too. Like, if you can believe that. And I just feel like I am at this point where, like, I miss it. I do. But, like, I can logically, like, talk myself through this and not go through that, like, downward spiral that I used to go through when I'd come home of, like, I miss my old life. And, like, you can't go back to your old life, Ericka. We're making a new one, okay? We're making a new one.
And a better one.
And a better one. And, like, not only that, but the communication and relationship with me and Deacon has, like, evolved in a really good way throughout this process, too.
Right.
Like, yes, I miss memories. Guess what? Plane ticket prices are going back down, and it's so much easier for me to get over there now. I'm not
and you
stressing
make
about money.
more money.
Yeah, I'm not stressing about the money. I mean, obviously, I moved in with a roommate, which is really going to help me, like, absolutely get on top of things here. But we've got a plan. We're moving forward. I feel like that health stuff that I went through after I got back from my grandma's funeral was like a jump start into, I had some blood work done with my doctor when I was in Oregon. He's put me on this new diet, which I fucking hate, and it's so hard, but I'm doing really good, and I feel really good, and, like, I just feel like I left so much stress and trauma in the wind when I was in Oregon, and I watched the sunset on the beach, and I watched the sunrise on the beach, and I freaking camped in the woods alone, and I camped at a rest stop, and apparently there was a serial killer 40 miles away on the same freeway, decapitating people.
But it's okay.
But I made
You made it.
home.
Your
I
head
didn't
is still
know about
attached.
it. Whoever is the one that decided ultimately not to tell me until I got home is a winner. Hunty, you're the best.
That was me.
But yeah, it was a great freaking trip. And then I took that trip. When did I leave? I left in September. I did not leave in August, but that trip came at the end of my move and my birthday, and also the biggest month I've ever fucking done. Like,
Ever
by so much. Holy shit.
What was your biggest month prior?
I don't know, but I don't know what my biggest total month was, but I know it couldn't have been anywhere near this, and relatively. Okay, so my highest month in service sales was $9,997.
I remember that month.
Yeah.
Because you were like, are you kidding me?
Buy eyebrow wax. I'm like, that's not real. It's not real because it's not actual client dollars. There's a lot of this talk at the end of last year when I was, like, trying to hit my 100K goal. Remember?
I do remember.
Yeah. And I was like, it's not real if I don't. Which I wouldn't do that to hit the 10. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I did $13,500 in August between retail and service, and my service was like 11,000. So not only did I hit my first 10K month, I fucking blew it out of the water by $1,500. So
and you took a vacation.
Yeah, but that wasn't until
September.
2 days later, 'cause I left on the
Right.
second, remember? It was all a blur, though. I moved. That's for sure. I did that all by myself with your help.
I didn't help much.
Witch Hunter pulls up to my new house and then tells me, I've been here before.
Okay. I was like, let's not disclose all of the information. Hang on. Put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I got you.
Yeah, so the house that Ericka lives in now is so I went to college at MTSU. I was in the marching band. And there's a party every year, and it's called Bring a Freshman. So you can only, as a freshman, you can only go if an upperclassman takes you as their little. And so I had a friend, she took me, and she took another friend. And that year, it just so happened to be, like, the after party was at your house. Yep.
That's so funny.
And then
it
sophomore...
It's not a college party house anymore. We got 2 old ladies living in there. About to be 3.
That is hilarious.
I mean,
that
we're
is
not
so
old.
funny.
We're mature.
And I was like, is your bedroom upstairs? Like, it's like a loft, right? And it's, like, really hot up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. But, okay, so I can't wait to post pictures because seriously, the before and afters.
You
are,
do
like,
have befores, right?
I do, but
Good.
it's like, and I took some. I've been kind of filming some moving and doing shit, like, because I can put a reel together for it because it is gonna be a bomb freaking before and after. I'm really excited.
I'm real excited because I saw the before, y'all, and let me tell you, I was a little bit nervous.
Was there carpet in that room when you were in it?
In the upstairs?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because it looks like the flooring, like, I'm not even mad at it's the original flooring that's in there right now.
And it's pretty.
There was carpet in there or other flooring because there's, like, subfloor padding, like, to the floor in the corners and stuff. And that motherfucker, I got so many splinters when I was putting my bed together. I still have a splinter in my foot because that corner under my room where it's, like, shifted a little bit.
Yeah, it's
under
splintering.
my bed, it's splintering. So, but, like, Kelly was like, you can put some carpet in there. We'll go get some cheap carpet and, like, see what we can find. And I'm like, I kind of am vibing with the, like, old vintage dirty floor. Like, I kind of like it, you know? I don't know why. I've got a carpet
I'll get some house
it,
shoes.
And I'm going to put, like, a white fluffy rug under my vanity. That's going to be really cute in the corner right there. I love it.
It's going to be so cute.
I was so down in the dumps about it until I got it put together, and I'm like, this shit is gonna be cute as fuck. And that's the thing I do love about myself is, like, I've lived in some not so nice apartments. It is not about what the outside looks like to me, you know what I mean? It is about how I make it a home in my space. That's why when my house is messy, like, I have been struggling.
Your life is messy.
Yeah, I've been struggling with, like, the last couple of years, like, just not being so depressed that, like, my home goes to shit, and I just hate that, you know? But, so I'm excited. I just feel very positive right now about it and about my life.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It is good.
Who am I?
That blood work sucked out the depression.
Right? I don't know. Look, I do have a phone appointment after this to go over my...
Like your results?
Results. Yeah, they did a full panel. So, and then, I mean, it's no secret that the diet that I'm on is, like, for my gut biome, which is brain fog, is a side effect of what I'm dealing with right now. So, it just, I mean, I moved here, an emotionally charged situation, very emotionally charged, lots of emotionally charged situations happening. Too much alcohol consumption. We cut that out for the majority. I tried to drink when I was in Oregon. I didn't even want it. Like, my sister and I, like, had a sip of whiskey. I had, like, 2 sips.
And you were like,
she cracked me a cider a couple days later. I had literally, like, 2 sips. I was like, I just didn't even want it. And I'm like, who am I? But I just feel so much better, like, taking care of myself. And don't get me wrong, I was about to cry yesterday morning when Michelle brought breakfast for us and mimosas and all the goodness that Shell does. And I was like, I can't have any of this.
Oh.
I was so sad. I did have 1 sausage patty without the biscuit.
I bet it was good, too. I bet it was good if she cooked it.
But all in all, I feel really great. So,
speaking of emotionally charged situations, I broke up with a client.
Yes, I want to hear this story.
So, honestly, I didn't break up with a client. I got broken up with.
Yeah.
Essentially, what had happened was I've been doing this person's hair for some time, like 2 years, I think. And they came in one day and they asked for a pink and yellow split dye. I was busy. I didn't ask a lot of questions, but
you guys have vibed on a creative, like,
on a creative level,
for
yeah.
so long. Like, every time they would come in, you guys always had something cool, and you were both just like, yes, and grooving and excited about it. And so, as a stylist, I can understand how they said that, and you felt comfortable interpreting what that meant.
Right. And I did ask, like, are we going wham bam? Because we were growing out the bleach.
Yeah.
And so I was like, are we going, like, for it, like neon? And they were like, whatever, pink and yellow split dye. So I did a pink and yellow split dye, and I did, like, bright. And I got it dry. They didn't like it. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, honestly, nothing. And I said, okay, that's okay. Like, I won't do anything. And I went outside. I took pictures. I could tell in the pictures that they didn't like it. So I deleted the pictures. I'm like, this is like their thing. Like their hair is their thing. And so I did feel bad that I didn't deliver what they were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't want me to do anything about it, after we've been through you not liking your hair
before,
and I fixed it immediately. I'm a colorist. I can fix anything.
Exactly. I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
So I know that they're comfortable telling you if they don't like it.
Right. And like this particular client, we've like, you know how like in color, it's easy to make like a lateral shift, but a horizontal shift is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
We've made that happen even. Yeah. And so they know that anything is possible. Mm-hmm. Your hair is healthy. It's perfect. Like
I watched Hunter take somebody from teal to copper the other day. He's got it.
Neon teal to like bright copper.
Neon copper.
Yeah. But like they didn't love it. And so that day, shortly after they left, I get a screenshot of a Facebook post. And they were holding up 2 pieces of clothing that were pink and yellow. Mm-hmm. And it was like, what I asked for, what I got. And then under it, a bunch of comments bashing me. And so that hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I got my feelings hurt real bad. They then called the salon after posting this picture saying that they're unhappy with their hair and they wanted to come pick up clarifying shampoo. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give you some for free. But I don't want you to walk back in here now. Like, I don't want you... Like, you bashed me on the internet after we had built a relationship for 2 years. Like, whatever. So... Couple weeks go by, their appointment is coming up, their appointment time, and I get another screenshot of their Facebook that's like, looking for someone who specializes in blondes and can do a like solid bleach and tone white hair. I've had the perfect color for the last few years and I don't want to change that or something like that. And then a bunch of recommendations. However, the next screenshot I get later that afternoon is, y'all told me to go to this salon, and now I look like this, and I look bad. And it's like one of the most popular salons in Nashville, like probably paid $400 and gave...
This is the point I've heard up into. I did not hear about that.
And so, like, you know how the bangs is, like, a big thing for them? Yeah. They gave them micro bangs. Like, micro bang mullet vibes. After, yeah. Did not listen at all. Because I know what they would ask for.
Or, no, okay.
No.
I was going to say, did it look good, or was it just that's not what they wanted?
I know that's not what they wanted. For a fact. And they even said, this is not what I wanted.
All I was getting at was, like, was it that they were unhappy or was it that it didn't look good on them?
So it didn't look good on them, but the picture was, like, they had messed it up really badly and, like...
Oh, no.
Not, like, the stylist, the client. Like, it was, like, dirty...
I get what you're saying.
Unkempt hair.
Okay.
But their thing is they want to be able to wake up and go. Yeah. They have depression.
Yeah.
Like.
Been there.
Right. Like, if they don't feel like doing their hair, they want to be able to not. And then now they can't. Uh-huh. And. Yep. Dang. So I sent a text message. This all transpired a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And it's just really bothered me. Uh-huh. And so I sent them a text message and I said, hi, I understand. I can read it.
Okay. Well, I think it's just while you're finding that, I think it's like just goes to show that, like, I mean, I don't know if they will ever hear this, but y'all had I thought, pretty solid
Relationship.
client stylist relationship, and even like bordering on friendly vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they had told you, I know for a fact that you would have fixed it. And I know for a fact that if it were me as a stylist, my feelers would have been hurt that you didn't tell me or give me the opportunity. We talk about that a lot on here.
Mm-hmm.
Some stylists don't like to be told if you don't like it, but we want to know.
Genuinely
Want the opportunity to fix it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I'm like sad by proxy here because I feel like I'm just sad that it went the way it did because it just didn't seem like it needed to.
Right, exactly. Okay, so I found the text message. Hi, I just wanted to say I understand fully why you searched for a new hairstylist. I had a slip up and I didn't fully communicate and I didn't listen to you in our last appointment. And I'm sure there are other times that you may have felt that way before. I can be aloof sometimes and that's not cool in this profession. So I want to firstly apologize for that. I take my job so seriously and I'm so passionate, and part of that is making people feel great about themselves, and on that, I failed. I did need some closure, though, as I thought you and I had formed a connection, and I viewed you as a friend and a client. I thought we had built a relationship where we could have communicated through... I thought that we had built a relationship that we could have communicated through to find an end result to make you feel your best. Because I had felt that way about you, it hurt very deeply to have your Facebook post sent to me, which is why I was so cold when you came and picked up the clarifying shampoos. I am reaching out because I value you. I appreciate the times you came in and we laughed together, and even the times where you just needed to sleep through the appointment because you came straight from a panic attack and didn't want to cancel. I want you to know how those times were also very special to me. I know I was able to provide that space for you to feel safe for so long. I want you to know you were special to me, and I learned so much about my own community from you. Even though it's never our job to educate, you did that, and I value that. I wish you the best in your hair journey. And P.S. I have stalker accounts, so even though you blocked me, I know that Anne Frank would be so proud of your hair color right now. That's an inside joke between the two of us. I mean it from the bottom of my heart when I say this. I value you. You are important, and whatever creative weirdo you find next is lucky to have you in their chair.
Dang, that is the nicest breakup text I've ever heard, but it's so genuine because I know that your feelings were hurt. And
yeah,
I appreciate that you owned it.
Mm-hmm.
And you took the time to let that person know that they were important to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I do think if you're not a stylist and you hear this and you're listening, genuinely, we do care about you.
Yes.
Sometimes more than we should.
And so there's a lesson in this.
Yeah.
Right? I got too invested in a transaction. And that is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And so from this point forward,
mm-hmm.
this is my business. I love you. I'm so grateful for you to be in my chair.
Mm-hmm.
But I have that wall now that's
mm-hmm.
No,
mm-hmm.
we are
yes, which is always good to remember.
Business relationship.
It's good to remember, right?
Yes.
And that is true, and that's a good boundary.
It's just hard sometimes because our business relationships get so personal.
Exactly.
Our guests tell us things that they wouldn't tell anyone else. Yeah. And it's hard to hear
mm-hmm.
that they don't like what you did because
mm-hmm.
now it's your friend,
mm-hmm.
right? But I'm just putting up a wall.
Yes, do that. I hear you. But I would also say that don't let it swing the other way.
Oh, right.
Don't
to
let
where
it
you're
swing
so
the other
cold.
way, to where you're so cold that the client picks up on that.
Mm-hmm.
And something I've learned on my own personal journey is those walls, whereas you may be putting them up to keep yourself safe, you actually can end up harming yourself because you're not letting anyone in, and you're not letting anyone support you, and you're not letting anyone give you love or special friendship feelings or whatever,
mm-hmm.
So you can form genuine connections with
Yes.
your clients that are real, right? And anytime you open yourself up to vulnerability, there is a chance you could get hurt, which is why I refused to do it for years. So, but there's a balance, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yes.
I'm hurt for you that happened with that person because I loved seeing their hair. And it was always, so you have a handful of clients and it's like every time they come in, I'm like, ooh, what are you guys doing today? It's just fun.
Because it's always different. It's always like the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
love it. This episode was packed full of a bunch of different stuff.
Different crap.
I love it.
Me too.
But that's kind of all we have for you for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to listen to more, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcasts. If you want to follow us on our social media journeys, I am at Herrick's Hunter on all the things.
I'm Ericka the Redhead on all the things.
And our podcast is Breakroom Banter Pod on all the things. If you want to have additional ways to support us, you can subscribe to our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/Breakroom Banter Pod. And until next time, remember,
you always have a seat at our table. Bye.